The status table provides useful information that can help you to identify the most common issues that require troubleshooting. To access the status table, start at the CR1000KD home screen and press Enter. Use an arrow key to move the cursor to the Ports and Status menu and press Enter again to select it. Finally, move the cursor to Status Table and press Enter to select. The first field in the status table is the data logger's OS version. Best practice is to keep the OS up to date. With OS version highlighted, press the right arrow to see the full version number. See our video about sending an OS to a local data logger for more information. Next, highlight the field labeled Prog Name. The right arrow lets you see the full program name. Make sure that the program name displayed matches the program that should be running. Highlight Start Time and press Write. This is normally the date and time when the current program was transferred to the data logger. If start time is more recent than that, it means the program has recompiled since the initial transfer. That may indicate a hardware or power issue. The field called Watchdog Errors is a counter that indicates the number of times that the data logger's processor has stopped and had to be restarted. Occasional watchdog errors are normal, but if there are a high number of watchdog errors, your system may have a failing component, unstable power supply, or program error that is keeping the data logger from operating properly. In that case, contact Campbell Scientific Support to help resolve the issue. The panel temp and battery fields provide basic troubleshooting information. The data logger should always be able to accurately measure its own temperature and battery voltage. If the panel temp in degrees Celsius seems unreasonably high or low, there may be a problem with the data logger's A to D converter. The battery voltage should normally be about 12 to 14 volts. If it reads outside that range, there's a power issue or hardware damage. Lithium battery is the voltage of the lithium battery, which is used to preserve data, program files, and data logger settings if the main power supply fails. If the lithium battery voltage is below 2.7 volts, it will need to be replaced soon. Low 12V count indicates how many times the battery voltage has dropped so low that the data logger stopped running. If this is a high number, there's a problem with the power supply. Often the problem is a rechargeable battery that can't hold a charge anymore and needs to be replaced. Compile results is a message generated when the data logger program compiles. If there are no problems, it will indicate that the program compiled in pipeline mode or sequential mode. If you're unfamiliar with these modes and want to know more, see the pipeline and sequential modes video available on our website. This field may also display warnings about the program or compilation errors. If the program failed to compile, it will need to be debugged using the CR Basic editor. Sometimes a compile error happens when a new CR Basic instruction is sent to a data logger that is running an older OS. The fields Prog Errors, Var Out of Bounds, and Skipped Scan are counters that indicate how many times the data logger was not able to follow the instructions in the program. Program errors are counted when the program does not compile or when it compiles but does not run correctly. Variable out of bounds errors happen when an array is not sized to the demands of the program. Skipped scans are caused when a program takes longer to process than the scan interval allows. If any scan skips repeatedly, the data logger program may need to be optimized or reduced. If any of these counters are not zero, the program should be debugged using the CR Basic editor. See our video CR Basic Common Errors for more information. Skipped system scan is a count of the number of times the data logger missed a background calibration scan. If this is a high number, it usually means that the data logger is trying to do too much in the time allotted. Increasing the program's scan rate often resolves this issue. All of the error counters in the status table may be reset individually by navigating to the field name, pressing 0, then enter again to confirm the reset. Card status shows the most recent status information for the removable memory card. This may include messages about whether a memory card has been detected and any file system errors that prevent the card from working properly. Next, we will use the CR1000KD to check whether the data logger is making measurements and storing data as expected. You can use the CR1000KD to check that the data logger is making good measurements and storing its data correctly. This is done by accessing the Data menu. This gives you access to real-time default and custom data tables, as well as final storage tables. It also has an option for resetting data tables, which will erase them, and an option for setting up a simple graph of a single real-time variable. Here we will focus on the real-time tables. When you select real-time tables, you get a menu that shows the default tables called Public and Data Table Info. You will also see any final storage data tables that have been specified in the data logger program. The Real-Time Tables menu displays the most recent data written to each of these tables. We'll start by looking at the Public table. The Public table shows every variable declared in the data logger program with the keyword public. These variables will have values based on the most recent scan of the program. Typically, this will include the most recent sensor measurements, counters, and user-defined flags. Use the arrow keys to navigate through the public variables and make sure the readings seem reasonable. Watch for NaN, not a number, or values outside the sensor's operating range. Press Escape to go back and navigate to Final Storage Data. Then press Enter. This menu will display all the final storage tables in the data logger program. Select the table of interest and you will see 6 consecutive records at a time. Use the up and down arrow keys, page up and page down, or home and end keys to move around the data table. The record number and timestamp for the record highlighted by the cursor are displayed on the top line of the CR1000KD.